When I was at Mary Star, it was at a time when the nuns, as we call them, wanted to leave the convent to have their own residence, to not have to wear the clothing. Everything was going through a change, and they had already shortened the habits. A lot of the habits, were starting to show their hair. They had them below their knees, and they were a little more modern, but some of the sisters didn't want to, they wanted to go back in regular street clothes. So you wouldn't actually be able to know who they were. They wanted to wear skirts, they wanted to wear sweaters, they wanted to wear blouses, but they wanted to dress like an everyday woman at that time. And they wanted to take back their own names. They wanted to be not called Sister Mary Stephen. They wanted to be called by a given name. It was mainly the younger nuns, and sometimes the sister wouldn't show up for class. And in a lot of cases, there were some lay teachers, but in a lot of instances, their nuns were not there to teach the class. So sometimes they'd say, oh, you'd have to do this assignment. And so, you're just sitting there and you're more or less goofing around. You're not really learning anything. So during that time, I'd never gone to public school, and I thought, perfect opportunity to get my parents to let me go to Pedro High. So I kept complaining, you're wasting your money. Why are you sending me here? I'm not learning anything. I'm just going to class. The sister doesn't show up. So, begged and pleaded, and I'd use somebody else's name to say, well, their parents are letting them transfer over. Why can't I transfer over? Finally, after complaining, they finally gave in to me, which is a good thing because that's how I met my husband. The transition was not as easy as I thought. Going to Catholic school, you always knew exactly what you're going to wear every single day. You put on the same clothes. You made sure your saddle shoes were polished. Going to Pedro was a different thing, San Pedro High School, I should say. And the hardest thing for me was gym. Going into a gym class or having to take gym, because gym at Mary Star was maybe a walk to the park or playing volleyball out in the schoolyard or whatever. It wasn't where you had to strip down and take showers. There were dressing rooms at Mary Star, but we never had, that intimacy and I remember the first day I had to go to gym class, and I remember this vividly. I was so self-conscious that I thought, okay, I'm not going to strip in front of all these gals. I'm going to go into a shower stall. Well, I went into a shower stall to strip down and to put my clothing back on. And lo and behold, they thought they were funny. They reached over and I was not facing, and I had the shower turned on me. That was the last time I got dressed in the shower. I learned the hard way.